Welcome back to Marvel Maniac and MCU After Show. This is Eric Cicada, your host, aka Mr. Honest. It is good to be back here with you for episode 5 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Truth. It's 61 minutes long. It's the longest episode yet. And everything goes down in this episode. A lot of big character moments here. And we watch Sam and Bucky grow. We watch them go on probably bigger journeys together than we do in most of the series so far. And I feel like we get to see them. I don't know. I really like to see these two working together and bonding together. As cheesy and corny as that may sound, I like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier on the same side. And I don't know, maybe, just maybe, for a minute I thought maybe we were going to get this to see both of these guys being Captain America at the same time. But nah, there's too many Captain Americas, right? And the next Captain America needs to be freaking African American. He needs to be black. I think that's where we're leaning, and I'm in agreement with that. I like that. I love that. Okay, so will John pursue Karli further for the death of Battlestar, or will he be dismantled of the shield? I freaking love the MCU. We pick up with Cap running away from the scene in the previous episode outside an abandoned freight depot. He has flashbacks of bringing the shield down upon the man that once called Captain America a hero. Yeah, I didn't mention that in the last episode, and I will say that I didn't notice that. I didn't maybe quite fully maybe put together that was the same guy last week. I am watching these and throwing my thoughts out immediately, so I do watch recap videos. I'm gonna put out Emergency Awesome right off the top of my head. That's one of the guys I watch every week. I always throw credit his way. So he gets to the warehouse and he sees flashes of Lamar, and we hear flashbacks from the recent episodes, and that suit comes with expectations, brother. John is having a breakdown here. He's pacing back and forth. He is reflecting. John, he's kind of off his rockery. John is kind of like crazy. Okay, he's losing it. He kind of get the idea that John doesn't really have it together. I don't know, when you see it in his crazy eyes when he's bashing that guy's life apart with the shield in the last episode. As Emergency Awesome would say, it was saying, like, this is a weapon. This is something you use. This is an item of defense you're using now as a weapon, and it just looks bad. It just doesn't look right. Man. So he sinks to his knees and he's remembering Lamar's body. He leans against the shield. We hear Lamar say, "Time to get to work." Falcon and Winter Soldier enter, and John cracks his neck and gets up and says to himself, "Time to get to work." This is very scary. An ego trip. This is, it's exactly what I feared. Lamar's death is propelling John into like becoming this super villain, and it's like Lamar wouldn't want this either. Like, Lamar was like such a genuine good guy. I think he would have like probably become an Avenger legitimately. I don't know, man. I really liked him. It's such a shame we had to lose him, but wow, look what it's turning him. Look what it's turning Walker into. Man, so many times that I refer to him as Cap. I can't believe I got sucked into it. But boy, would he love that. Bucky and Sam approach Walker. John says, now this is John's recollection of what happened to, at the scene, where he bash that guy with the shield. He says he had to stop him. He had to do it because he killed Lamar. And, Buck, okay, we were all there. We know Karli did this. We saw it. It was very fast. So, I mean, we all don't necessarily know how it happened, but it wasn't that guy. And even if it was so fast, it wasn't deliberately that guy. But it wasn't. It was Karli that did it. She runs in. I mean, it was kind of prominently Karli, her big curly hair. It was under a mask, but it was not her, the build and everything. This guy, he knew it too. He just took his anger out on one of them. But Bucky says, you didn't kill Lamar, John, and don't go down that road. Believe me, it doesn't end well. John says, I'm not like you. This is what Sam says. It was in the heat of battle. If you explain what happened, they may consider and recur. We don't want anyone else to get hurt. He's just doing everything he can to calm. Clearly, what is an insane man down? This guy's losing. He's lost his mind. Cut to the blood dripping on the shield. Like this is a scene right here, guys. This is a showdown. Like, just get a look at this. We got we got Captain America, we got Falcon, and we got Winter Soldier just standing in a trio, like just standing. This is a situation here. And by the way, this Cap just took the serum. He's strong. This is dangerous. John, you gotta give me the shield, man. Sam says, yes, Falcon. Finally, right? Lifting his head, Captain America looks at Sam in the eye with the most sardonic smile and says, so that's what this is. He almost got me. And you know what? Who cares if Sam wants that shield back at this point? You give that man that shield. Get this man his shield. For Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace. Anytime I reference that man. Walker, you don't want to do this, he says, and that's what Walker says. You don't want to do this, and Bucky says, yeah, we do. So they start fighting, of course, in an epic battle. This is a 3-way fight. I know every time an epic battle starts to happen, it's me saying epic battle. But when I say epic battle, I made it. Oh my God. And I'm going to go into a little more description than just epic battle. So the fight starts off with Bucky going in really hard. The first thing John does in the fight is he kicks Sam right out of battle. And I think both Bucky and Sam, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I gotta start calling them by their freaking warrior names. But you know what? I think the show does such a good job making these superheroes human that, I don't know, I think that's a testament to that. And I give credit to the show for that. I think they completely underestimated and not fairly enough. In the last episode, Sam did see some of this strength exemplified by Walker and was like, what did you do, right? But still, you don't really know the power of this guy. You don't really know that he took the serum. He didn't see it. So much happened that day in that moment. To think that Walker found a serum and took it, it's just out of left field. He doesn't know it. So think about the fight, the mindset going into this fight. He's just not ready for this fight. They both underestimate. So Sam, he gets knocked out right away. So Bucky goes for the shield. like the whole time, like he's going for the shield. He failed. Like it's right. Like he stays true to what he said. He fails and he gets elbowed and socked to the floor. Falcon gets back into the action, and both him and Bucky are doing their best to keep the new Cap at bay. But Sam gets knocked back down with the shield as a weapon, man. I mean, the shield's going to be used as a weapon at some points, right? But come on, as John. But we will, in moments, I will tell you again, this dirty move that this Captain America uses. John and Bucky exchange a series of struggles over the shield. At one point, he throws the shield at Bucky and like barrels him across the room. But Bucky catches it, like, but barely. It's like in his arms, and he's like pummeled against the wall with it. So like he's not even really catching. He catches it like in his arm, like he slammed into the wall with it. And then John like rams into Bucky to like tussle with him over it, and he screams at Bucky like, "Why are you making me do this?" I'm like, "Jeez, John." Like they had a moment like before that, like they look each other in the eyes. John wants to be Steve Rogers so bad. He wants to be Captain America, and then, like he looked Bucky in his eyes. Bucky has such a you don't want to hurt Bucky, you know. He wanted Bucky on his team. He really did, you know. He really wanted Bucky on his team. Oh my God. So John's like, "Why are you making me do this?" He throws Bucky into an electrical tower. From my perspective, at that moment, KOing Bucky, and his arm like went all electrically, and I was like, "Whoa, Bucky, no!" And that was scary. And yeah, so Falcon and John dodge an exchange. And Falcon's like, "This isn't you, John." And John says, "We could have been a team." And then they charge at each other, and Falcon takes flight. I'm totally narrating this fight way better, right? Like this is a fight that needs to be narrated, though. There's so much drama and tension here. This is like really built up, and this is like the fight for the shield. This is a big fight in terms of story. So like this is really important in terms of like this isn't just a fight like this is like symbolic here. Okay, this is very symbolic. They charge at each other. Falcon takes flight, firing a cable onto the shield. Walker doesn't let go. This is a tug of war they have. This is like symbolic as hell. This causes the shield to fall to the ground in the middle of the like warehouse. They both see it. It's like, oh my God, one of those moments. They both charge for it, and Falcon and Walker just are like wrestling on the ground for it. And this is this moment where until Walker gets on top of Sam. And he rips his mask off, and just, man, at this point, just both of these guys are just so beat up. And he screams, "I am Captain America." And he straddles Falcon, and he rips his freaking wings off. Holy smokes, dude. I didn't mean to say that like such a... I don't really talk like that much like that. I wrote it like that. And I wanted to read it like that. I thought it was funny how I wrote that because like my brother walked out and like it was on my monitor, and I'm like, "Hey, read that like line I wrote." I didn't want to spoil the show, but I don't know that line. But not only, but can you believe this? He ripped off his wings. But not only did he take his Rolls cap, but he ripped off his wings, and then not only that, he attempts to murder him like he did the guy from last week. What? This guy is insane. Bucky steps in to save him for one more brutal fight. They trade vicious punches. Cap goes in for another shield kill on Bucky too. How brutally disgraceful to try and murder these men with that shield that way. You know what I mean? Like that shield is these men, like, as Bucky referred to that shield as family, right? In this episode, Bucky referred to like that shield is like family to me. that shield should not be fighting, like decapitating people. It should be taken away from Walker like that. Yes. Post-credit scene, everybody, by the way. 15 minutes into this episode, there's a post-credit scene. I'm letting you know. If you haven't seen it, go look. It's not at the very end. It's like, I want to say, like a minute or 2 minutes after the end of the episode. It's cool. It's pretty cool. I'm going to talk about it at the end of this episode. Maybe even like some point after this segment. So just like, I don't know, I want to reference it, but just go watch it. Try and go watch it soon. I want to talk about it. Wow. Anyway, so they finally take Walker down. He slips into unconsciousness. This is a sigh of relief for everyone. Audience, Bucky, Sam. Bucky dons the shield under this pale light leaking into the factory that they were fighting in. It's a beautiful shot. He throws it to Sam on the ground, almost as if to say, like, this bloody shield he throws at him. It's like almost as if to say, like, this happened because you gave up the shield. You know, the shield is so bloody and all, you know, it's on you right now. And Falcon is very vulnerable on the ground there. And it's almost like the end of that endeavor. Like, you can go on vacation now. Like, this is over right now. You know, like when he said, I just want to get this done with, and, you know, here's your shield, and it's all over. It's just dirty, and it's just a disgusting. I felt so felt, no matter how that ended, it was just ugly. But you feel terrible for Sam. You just do. How could you not? So, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's where we get our title card. Big, one-of-a-kind opening. That is an opening, folks. That is an opening. So, we're back at the GRC settlement camp with Sam. And he's saying that the GRC can't find Karli. We got Torres back, another Torres cameo. We love Torres. It hints at Torres being, looking at some Falcon. Torres being a Falcon predecessor, maybe. There's hints of that in the comics. I don't get too much into comic-y stuff. That's a maybe spoilery thing. But I don't know. He seems pretty interested in those wings, doesn't he? Bucky's leaving, and Sam is asking him if he's going to take care of Zemo. Tying up Zemo loose ends. Zemo almost seems like someone who is going to be like almost a bigger part of the show, but then isn't. But like, I love him, and I enjoy him being in the show, and the fact that he's alive in the MCU always opens opportunities for more. Who knows what sinister villain can come in and say, oh, you tore the Avengers apart. I'm going to break you out of Wakandan jail, So Sam and Torres discuss Karli and what she must be up to. Sam thinks that the longer they let her regroup, the harder it will be to find her. Torres is very curious about how Sam's wings broke, but Sam won't really get into it. Reasonably why. I understand. Sam seems to take liking to Torres. This is like, I note that. Sam finally takes the shield and leaves the wings. Big moment for Sam right here. A very big moment for Sam. Now, this next scene is harsh. I loved it in every way. It's pure justice. It's possibly some of the best television I have ever watched. This is the trial of John Walker, okay? The trial of Captain America. The current Captain America. No longer Captain America. As John's ruling was being read to him, he wanted to explain the full gravity of the situation. The man, I believe this is the man that donned him Captain America on TV. It's just, oh man, this is just so hard to watch. And the actor, Wyatt Russell, who plays Captain, old Captain, no more Captain America, John Walker. He plays this so well, man. He just can't hold it in. He says this is not a negotiation, and he cuts him off. He says, I understand that. He screams it. He says, I live my life by your mandates. I dedicated my life to your mandates, and I only ever did what you asked of me, what you trained me to do, and I did it. And I did it well. He's told he won't get any rank or benefits, and he will just be discharged. He said, you built me, Senator. I am Captain America. He is so crazy about being Captain America. It's like insane. It is like an ego trip for him now. That super soldier serum, is, man, it's just got to him in the wrong way. Wow. Not anymore. Gosh, so cold too, and it does kind of fall in line with what Isaiah was saying about how they do kind of, the government in this series and maybe in real life, they just don't care about the soldiers. John walks out, and his significant other, I don't know if it's his wife. I'm just gonna guess it's his wife. I don't know. He doesn't really treat her very well. He kind of looks the other way and never really gives her attention. But what am I? I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to judge this relationship. I mean, that's their relationship. She just seems very concerned for him. And, I mean, if you were in a relationship with him, I'd be too. He's going through something. He murdered a man on camera. I mean, it's, he is doing it on a monocle of Captain America in a time of war. So, but like, he clearly hurt a man who was surrendering. So there's no doubt there that's wrong. There's no doubt there that was wrong. But then something crazy happens. As he's, she's coming outside. His significant other's coming outside to calm him down. And John is saying like something again, like he says like, they just don't know what it takes to be Captain America. Like, he's not Captain America anymore. But like, I guess I wouldn't be like, how could you go, from being Cap to not being Cap instantly? And it goes to your head, right? It just is in your head. He just can't lose it. You can't lose that drive to want to be Captain America. But then all of a sudden, Julia Louis-Dreyfus shows up. What? Okay, this is kind of huge. They definitely like have her enter the show as if it is Julia Louis-Dreyfus from Seinfeld. But okay, enough. Her name is Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, but just call her Val. But just yeah, okay. She said she would have killed the bastard too. And also the first thing she says is these boots are not made for walking. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of things about Val. I think she's the power broker. I don't know. I was really distracted by the fact that she was Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Am I saying her name right? I'm just so distracted by that. Sometimes I just like, it was such a surprise cameo. I've never been more distracted by a cameo in the MC. It was unexpected. It was very unexpected. I feel like you probably were feeling that too. Am I wrong? She said but okay, so into what she was actually saying. Okay, she said that taking the serum has made John very valuable to certain people. Very power brokery thing to say. She said it was the second best choice he made in his life. The first was marrying, his lovely wife. So they're married, right? The first will be answering when she calls. She seems to know a lot. Seems like the power broker. She gives him a card that says she's in legal. This is like a legal gray area, or she gives his wife, and then he's like, there's nothing on it. So I don't know what that meant really at all. Any ideas? MarvelManiacPod@gmail.com. throw us your ideas. What do you think? We got one episode left of this thing. The finale's next week. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Unbelievable. We love theories. Throw them at us. At the GRC settlement camp, Karli and a few members of the crew reflect over what happened, and they're kind of just, they're kind of down. It was kind of brutal. How many times do we have to pay with our lives just to be citizens of this planet? The movement is ready. It's time, she says. Then they move out in an aggressive manner. We cut to Sokovia. Zemo is at the statue he spoke of in recent episode. Zemo says he thought Bucky would be there sooner. The girl has been radicalized beyond salvation. I warned Sam, but he didn't listen to me. He's as stubborn as Steve Rogers before him. Almost like a slip up in the writing, maybe referencing him as Captain America. Sam is Captain America already, or I don't know, maybe just his friend. I don't know. But they've literally programmed you to kill. So he's already incentivizing and planning on using Bucky as the Winter Soldier to execute Karli. It's interesting how Zemo wants to do exactly what they want to do anyway. And it's just so fun, interesting that like Zemo can't just work with Bucky. But no. Well, there's a tension here, and we know it from the song. That I'm not gonna hum it for you anymore. It's like from Civil War, and it's a song. It's just that he's gonna start singing the words, Ross, Homecoming, all the Winter Soldier activation words, and he's going to try and access the Winter Soldier, and Bucky raises his gun, and it's, I was almost confident that Bucky's like moment was going to be like shoot Zemo in the face, and like that would have been dark, but like it could have happened, but there was no bullets. He lowers the gun and raises his metal hand and rains several bullets on the ground. A trio of Dora Milaje warriors arrive. I took the liberty of crossing my name in your book. I hold no grudges for what you thought you had to do, says Zemo. What a guy. Why do I like him? I just freaking like Zemo so much. He's like understanding in a way of like he has to go with them. He's okay with it. All right. Like he's like, I'll go. And he just goes. I just think Zemo's he'll be back in one way or another somehow. They'll need him. Someone will need him. He'll get out. I don't know. It's probably dangerous that he's in Wakanda if you think about it that way. Like a Sinister Six type thing or whatever, however. What will he be needed for and how will he get out? So Io says that Zemo will spend the rest of his days in the raft. She tells Bucky not to come to Wakanda for now. Bucky says that's fair, but he needs one more favor. We don't know what that is. We know what that is, but like for now we don't know. Like in the show we don't know what that is. Baltimore, Maryland. Sam is going to visit Isaiah. We're going back to see Isaiah, the super soldier that never was. The lost super soldier in time that we met a few episodes back. Sam has the shield in a bag, and Isaiah says not to take it out because the stars and stripes mean nothing to him. And Sam just really wants to know what went wrong. Sam starts to say like something like he was a super soldier and he could have been the next. Isaiah cuts him off. Like I thought he was gonna say Captain America, but he's like blonde hair, blue eyes, stars and stripes. The entire world has been chasing that great white hope since he took that serum. Isaiah really despises Captain America, and rightfully so. Steve did not put you in jail, is what Sam says. So we cut to them inside the house. Isaiah shows Sam some pictures and letters that were kept from him while he was in jail, and they told the woman that he loved that he was dead when he was in jail. So they kept things from him and they kept things from her. What went wrong? According to him, a handful of people got shot up with the serum. Of different versions of the serum, right? Some died off, some got captured on a mission one day, and Isaiah even heard about like the commanders wanted to blow that camp up to destroy the evidence. He's like, I don't think of them as evidence. These are people. He saved them on his own. Eventually, they all died. He's the only ones that survived. So for like 30 years, they experimented on him and they just declared him dead. And a nurse took pity on him and told him the truth and gave him the hidden letters. And he just loved her so much. This nearly brought me to freaking tears. I couldn't handle this. Sam wants to help. This is Sam just being Sam. He wants to help. Sam knows people. He says, and he wants the world. He wants Isaiah to know the world's different now. But he's like, that's why you're here. You think things are different. You want to believe that jail was my fault because you got the white man's shield. And he says they will never let a black man be Captain America, and even if they did, no self-respecting black man would want to be. This hurts. I could tell Sam, but Isaiah raises some really good points. I gotta be on his side. You can't hate on a guy for feeling this way. Wow, you feel for him. How hurt would I be if I were him? Very hurt. Sam, I can't even imagine. I'm not in his shoes. I've never been a super soldier. Sam goes home to his sister Sarah's. We're back at Sarah's with the family, and there's a lot that happens here. A lot of progression. Sam finally pulls in some favors and gets some help, so we can finally get the boat fixed and started. I had an extra eerie feeling for some reason at the beginning. I'm like, maybe like the whole house is gonna get bombed like in Iron Man 3. I'm like, no, but there's too much time left in the episode, like by Karli. But no, not this series. It would have been too much. The first fight at the beginning was like big enough. We had too much time left. Bucky arrives at Sam's dock. It's nice to see it. I was very happy. I was very happy to see them together again. I was like, are they going to be apart forever? No. He said he asked a favor of the Wakandans, so we already get follow up to that, and he gave it right to Sam. But we don't never get to see it this episode, of course. I told you there would be a bromance. I told you. It's starting. Why didn't you use the metal arm? He said to him when he was like fixing a leaky pipe or something like that. Just funny moments. I love it. I love those funny little moments. They're my favorite. I don't mean to do a funny little accent there. Bucky helps with the boat. We get a boat montage. Heck yes. I love it. I like montages in general. We get a couple of them in this episode. And I like me a good montage if it's done right. I thought this one was fun, and maybe not like most necessary, but like it worked. It was probably beefed up the episode a little bit, but I didn't mind it. I like these character building things. I don't mind them. Sam working on the engine. He's working on the engine, and he tries to start the boat, and it fails, and Sam's just like trying to get the side off the boat, and then Bucky rips it off for him. Like, just some very upbeat, awesome music over it. Then they're just talking about the situation as they're doing it. Like, Sam thinks Karli's gonna double down. Bucky's like, I think she's gonna go off radar. Stuff like that. We cut back to John, and he's talking to Lamar's family. He's very withdrawn. John is just so withdrawn. He's so out of it. Lamar's dad asked John directly if that was the man who killed his son that John killed, which we know is not. And John says, yes, that is the man that I killed that killed your son. Okay, so he's lying. Lamar's mom is just sobbing. It is so hard to watch. It's just terrible. She tells John that Lamar would be so proud knowing that the man responsible responsible got his justice. This is so dark. Gosh, this is one of like the most complicated and dynamic stories we've gotten in the MCU, maybe. I don't know. I love it. John walks down the street and sees a Cap is Back poster, and he just like looks at it. He is so caught up in that persona. Makes him sick. He doesn't believe it. Cut back to Sharon Carter just for one moment, saying she has a job for someone. That's it. That's all we get of her. All episode. One little tiny Sharon Carter moment. And she's like, I have a job for you. And that's it. Sharon, what are you up to? You sneaky Sharon Carter. I don't know. I don't trust her. I don't trust her at all. She is up to something. Because, like, literally, we only see her for seconds at a time, operating in the shadows in Madripoor and stuff like that. She's into some dirty things. I don't trust her. I'm sorry, Sharon. You're too off grid. You're too off grid right now. I'm sorry. Bucky wakes up to Sam's nephews playing with the shield. They leave it, but he eyes it. This shield is its own character in this show. It's just another thing I like about this show. My mic like leaned up a little bit. Yes. Okay. The shield slams into a tree, and Bucky and Sam stand in a yard, and they're training. And they're throwing the shield around. And Sam says the legacy of that shield is complicated, to say the least. When Steve told me that he was planning on doing, I don't think either of us understood what it felt like for a black man to be handed the shield. How could we? I owe you an apology. I'm sorry. Whatever happened with Walker is not your fault. It's just that shield's the closest thing I've got left to a family. When you retired, it made me feel and question everything. Sam says he understands, but Steve is gone, and it doesn't matter what he thought. He throws the shield, and then they're both catching it and like throwing it against the trees and catching it, and it's this really good back and forth moment. Dude, will they both be Cap? Maybe. I'm thinking. I think it's just like a moment to show the collaboration between the two characters. They're getting on the same page, is what it is. It's fantastic. Sam tells Bucky that he needs to bring the people on his list closure. And he's been getting trying to seek his own closure, but he needs to give them closure, right? He's been doing it for himself and not for them, right? Good talk, they say. Sam says, like, good talk, Bucky said. That was Bucky that said that, actually. Sam and Bucky, they have a bro handshake, and they agree to meet when there's a lead on Karli. This team is stronger than ever thus far. Sam looks good with that freaking shield. He walks away. Sam and Sarah sit on the dock in front of the finished boat. Sarah says they can't sell it, and Sam says this is their history. They can't. I'm so happy you said that. And Sarah asks if she's gonna if Sam is gonna let Isaiah get into his head. In terms of the Captain America thing, are you going to let Isaiah get into your head and stop you from being Cap? You know? And Sam says, well, what would all of the pain, and says, Isaiah's been through so much, but what would all the pain and sacrifice be if I wasn't willing to stand up and keep fighting? And this is what I love. You know, Sam, against the odds, against everything Isaiah said to him, you know, it doesn't matter. He still wants to be Captain America. And this is where Sam picks up the slack. Oh, heck yes. Sam, we got a training montage, okay? Sam starts off throwing the shield on the trees, and it nearly takes his head off. And it's super montage. He's getting better and better with this thing. It looks sick to see him rock the shield, like finally rocking the shield. I just didn't imagine him like actually doing it, and I'm like, it's good to see him practicing and like getting better with it in real time. Sam is also learning a ton of new like side flips and superhero-y like flips. Just, you never seen him do it. He's put the wings down. He's not as comfortable. It's sick, dude. I love it. Falcon, Sam, you're doing it, man. You're getting Cap. You're getting to turn into Cap. You got the moves now, buddy. You got the moves now. Cut to Karli at a park. Okay. Oh, wonderful. You know who we have here? You know what we have here? It's the LAF guy. That one that Sam fought in the sky in the first episode. And he has explosives. Yeah. So Karli's working with terrorists, and like basically like her friend is always like surprised when Karli's doing something like really like ridiculous like this, but like, when are you gonna just realize that you're like basically terrorists, you know? You gotta realize at one point you're doing crazy things like this, dude. You're killing people, dude. Like, I don't know, at one point, when is this guy gonna realize that? The LF guy wants to strict revenge on Falcon. This guy is more nuts than anyone. I really am excited to see him go toe to toe with Falcon again, as new Cap. It's going to be interesting. Karli activates a beacon, and so many people look at their phones and get up. Back at Sam's house, he's hearing of the GRC vote. This is what Karli is doing. Like, she doesn't want the GRC vote. It says it'll never happen tonight. He hears from Torres about this ping he received about the Flag Smashers in New York. You know, what Karli just did over there. And at the meeting, the lights go out, and you know, everything shuts down, and people kind of start to panic a little bit. We just get a clip of that. So we cut back to Sam, and he's opening the suitcase from Wakanda, and we don't get to see it yet, and the episode ends. Is that it? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's in the suitcase. What do you think's in the suitcase? I think it's a new super suit. It's basically probably the new Captain America suit. I don't know. Is it going to look like a Black Panther-y version? Is it going to be new vibranium wings? Is it going to be a vibranium-ish Captain America suit to cope and like, you know, compensate for the fact that he doesn't have a serum, you know? All of it sounds awesome. I love it. Could it be like a black suit with red, white, and blue on it? Wouldn't that be really cool? It just needs to like represent the black community too really well. I don't know. I just you know, because I don't know, there is that being spoken here, and I think it's fantastic. I think it's really, really, really important, and I think it's being addressed very well, and I respect that a lot. I love this show. It's handling everything. Oh God, wonderful. We get a post-credit scene here. We hear hammering, similar to that of Tony in the Iron Man cave, but this is a much more twisted version of that. This is not that. This is John Walker. He's wielding. He's welding his own shield, like clonkering. It's like, we get this really epic shots of him just making this thing. This is not going to be a vibranium shield. This is going to be your like typical metal. Like this, I mean, it's going to be a homemade, but it's looking pretty good. He's putting his war medals on there. He's gonna be a homemade hero, dude. He's making his own Captain America get up and everything. John Walker, the homemade Captain America. He really doesn't want to give that up. It's going to be really interesting. I bet you like John Walker comes in and like actually helps the next episode. Who knows, man? Who freaking knows? This is crazy. Wow, what an episode. You know, the second to last episode of a series usually you know what I like about this series? It's just doing. I have no idea what's going to happen next episode, and I really like that because I have a feeling it's going to be extremely satisfying. But it's teeter-tottering on it could just really upset me. I don't know. This Sharon Carter thing and this Julia Louis-Dreyfus, man, there are a lot of random dingling plot holes that I want filled, and I hope we get answered. Zemo is gone, so we don't have any more Zemo. I'm pretty sure it's pretty safe to say no more Zemo. I wonder if we'll see Don Cheadle War Machine again. I would love that. I don't think we will, though, unfortunately. I just can't imagine what's going to happen for the finale. What do you guys think is going to happen? I really want to hear your thoughts. We're at Marvel Maniac Pod on Twitter. Well, now I said that there, so I don't have to say it in 2 seconds when I read the end thing. That's hilarious. Well, I mean, I'm pretty much gearing up towards that anyway. I'm really excited for the finale episode. I know there's going to be tons to talk about. This was an hour-long episode. They really wanted to get a lot of the meat and potatoes in terms of character development, and I'm a little disappointed in the Karli side of things. But we get what we're going to get out of that character. And I think we're going to get a pretty decent finale. I got a feeling that the finale is going to be longer. I just do, because these episodes are just getting longer and longer. And I just think the finale, I don't want to promise anybody anything. I don't have any insider knowledge. I'm not associated with the show. But if I were to put any money down, I'd put my money down an hour, 10 minutes. Maybe hour, 15 minutes. It's my guess and hope. But if anything, it's going to be 60 again. At the very least. I'd be surprised if it were less than 60 minutes. After this week, getting a less than 60 minute finale? That'd be crazy. That'd be mania. Anyways, we got all these Marvel shows lined up. We got Loki coming out in June. Black Widow is coming out next month. Are you freaking ready for Black Widow? We're going to be talking about that the night it comes out, released. I'm going to be putting out an after show for it. So be ready for that. Whenever you watch it, I will have an episode out for you. We could talk about it and just freak out about it. I can't wait. So until next time, let's get our wrap up on. It's been great talking with you today. This has been Eric Cicada at Eric Cicada, ERICSEQUEIRA on Twitter, at Marvel Maniac Pod on Twitter. I said it again. I'm sorry. We do accept donations at PayPal, so it's at Mr. Honest Podcast, MrHonestPodcast@gmail.com on PayPal. It does go right back into the show, production, everything, keeping the lights on, all that good stuff. Anything helps. We want. I didn't mean to stick on that. Good gosh, we love to have you here. MarvelManiacPod@gmail.com. Take care of yourselves. Have a great week. We can't wait for the finale. Keep avenging. If you are an Avenger, take care of yourself. Eat lots of grapes and vegetables, and if you're the Hulk, make sure you're not too angry. Mark Ruffalo, don't spoil anything. Don't spoil anything, Mark Ruffalo, because we like you, but we don't want to be spoiled. I want to some people like it, but I don't want to be spoiled. I love Mark Ruffalo. You can come on my show. I just don't want to be spoiled, I love Mark Ruffalo. All right, until next week, everybody. Avengers, disassemble.